Today on the Sagely Stage Stooges, I'm Steven.
I'm Grady.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Chris. And in this first standalone news episode, we discuss Jeffrey Epstein's private jet, Belle Delphine's bathwater, and Ted Cruz's turnaround, all in this edition of the Sagely Stage Stooges.
We are your friends at the Sagely Stage Stews giving news.
Oh, yeah! We are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Settle in. It's the Sagely Stage Stooges. My name is Steven, and I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful, wonderful co-host, Chris. Mm-hmm. Josh. Oh, also Grady's, Grady.
Here, the
too.
illustrious, the celebrated, the world-renowned co-host that I am.
He's probably one of those.
Cut that. Cut all of that.
Oh, I'm cutting all of that, just all of what you were saying.
All right, so it's been a while, guys.
We're
sorry. Life has happened a lot to a lot of us in a lot of ways, but we're back. And since we, on our last podcast, decided that we were going to cut the news segment, in full stooge logic, we're going to do an entire episode devoted purely to
We might
news.
start doing that, right? Like alternate. That'd be kind of fun.
Maybe.
It is,
Yeah, I figure we can sometime.
It is nude news, right? Like everyone else's news.
Yeah,
right?
I'm new.
They still do that,
Well,
by the way?
you know,
For sure.
it's funny that you mentioned that, Josh, because today is actually it is
Nude Newscaster.
International News Day, Nude Day. Oh crap! I just had it. I lost it now.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's like
This is a clusterfuck.
it's international. It's simultaneously like International Non-Binary Day and like
What the fuck
International
does that
Nude.
even mean?
That just
Oh.
means
Yeah,
people who
and
don't
like,
identify as either one gender or the other.
Well, good for them,
Yeah.
I guess.
Steven, just tell me everyone
Yeah.
is nude. I mean, that's really
Well,
funny.
and
Now I get nude.
that's kind of what's funny about it is
Don't
that
be
like
shy.
it's like this hashtag National Nude Day, and it's on Twitter. It's basically just everyone tweeting about how the Instagram models or quote unquote Instagram thoughts. This is like their holiday. This is like their Christmas.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So
It's
check
Instagram
that
thought
out.
Christmas.
People
Yeah.
and
Merry
their
Christmas,
ill-advised holidays, but we'll get into that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll touch on something along those lines.
although to keep some semblance of respect for the world, International Non-Binary Day is trending number 3 in the world, whereas National Nude Day is only number 14 in the United States.
Well, Nude Day needs to get its numbers up. I don't
know what's wrong with people.
So I figured we'd start by I'm gonna go through what's trending on Twitter. Josh just happened to mention us being nude, and that's appropriate because it is obviously
National Nude Day, but you said it's like
Well,
not
I just
even
thought our
that
listeners
trending?
should know and be
Yeah,
able
it's
to
not
picture
even
us.
that
I don't know. I just thought it was
Okay,
funny.
well, fair enough. Kind of like us.
So number 1, the Wimbledon.
Oh,
happened.
Wimbledon.
Yes,
and that was talking
Bunch of
tennis.
rich white folks.
Djokovic
And
won the men's,
number
right?
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
Djokovic won.
We
Yeah.
watched the Nadal-Federer one, the last little bit of it. It was good.
Was
No, that was
today?
yesterday.
Was
Or
Yeah, I was
something?
gonna say, I think that was
Not yesterday.
That's
it
like
was like
bowling,
Friday
right?
or something. Yeah, it was Friday.
It might as well be bowling, Josh. It might as well be.
the Cricket World Cup.
And the streaker
Woo!
they're in.
Who won?
That's happening,
Or, no,
I guess.
Okay.
The streaker won.
So this is one of those things
Who's
that
favorite
like
then?
cricket, like
The
it's
streaker.
New Zealand and
India.
and
Oh.
Britain, and they're
Britain,
in a
yeah.
super over, and they need 242 runs to win. Britain does. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds
Well, it's
exciting.
like all day,
those,
right?
Those games can go on for days, can't they?
Yeah, they
I'm not
can.
mistaken. Yeah.
Well, but this is like a
Well, in
overtime
this situation,
or a tiebreaker.
to win the actual cup or whatever, then this is
'Cause
kind of
they're in
a
a-
specific situation. Because otherwise, the game
Yeah,
would just
'cause-
end as a whatever.
Well, let's not spend too
Right,
much time
but-
talking about a sport we don't understand at all.
Right.
I
yeah,
actually
so that was-
watched a little bit of cricket in college, and I remember spending a day like reading the rules.
I
And I
remember
don't
we
remember
watched
a
that
lot
at
of
the-
them
yeah.
because there are a lot of weird rules. But I know
You
a
are
little bit of how it works. It's kind of
Openly
interesting.
defying me, sir.
And that was talking tennis and talking cricket. So
Talking cricket.
this was supposed. This
Jiminy!
was supposed
I'm
to
a
be
real
like,
boy.
kind of a fun. Like I thought this was going to be like really like
Non-binary.
just generally Twitter trends.
Non-binary. Oh, you asshole! You beat me to it.
Generally, Twitter twins.
Twitter twins.
Twitter trends
It's a Twitter
are pretty
tongue
lighthearted.
Yeah.
But of course, Trump had to go off and
God,
and
Jesus.
damn it.
be Trump and just completely destroy the Twitter trends. So we've got racist in chief. That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean,
A little lazy. I think it could be clever. But
Yeah. You want lazy? Okay, here's number 5. Trump is a racist.
Okay.
That's a hashtag for you there.
they saw the other thing and they're like, "What, chief? Are they trying to make him like a native? I don't know what that means. I don't."
Hashtag I don't
It's
like.
just like-
I'm the racist chief. You're all my Indians.
My
I don't
racist.
know.
Okay. No, yeah, and they were just like, "Whatever. He is a racist."
Many moons ago, I saw a bunch of immigrants come here, and I didn't like it all that much. I didn't like it. Not at all.
Trump, but
not
as a
good.
Native American in a 1940s
Native-
Western. There we go.
I mean,
Oh, we're
got
probably.
that
The
kind of
Europeans landed on
isolationist
us.
vibe.
We didn't land on them. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not taking.
All right.
I can't help myself.
No, but
I'm
yeah,
so bored.
that tweet where he was like, "They need to go back
Just
to
let
their
them give him in a
countries."
headdress. And
He told Rashida Tlaib to go back to the country of Detroit,
yeah,
Yeah.
and AOC back to
the Bronx,
Queens,
in New York
or
City.
whatever,
To
yeah.
be fair, Detroit is a war zone. Here's the thing about that. Like, so what this all kind of goes back to is that we've seen this progressive wave in the Democratic Party pushing back against a lot of the old guard to the point where it's kind of gotten ridiculous. So and AOC said this isn't what she was saying later. I think she was. She just backtracked on it. But she basically was insinuating that Nancy Pelosi was being racist. And then, for targeting the 4 women of color, like, no, it's just y'all are very outspoken and y'all tend to say stupid shit. But, like, and right now with the election coming up, this isn't the time for it, I think is where Nancy's coming from. But, like, the thing is, I was completely surprised by the fact that Donald Trump, like, last week, came out and defended Nancy. And he was like, who are you people to call Nancy Pelosi, of all people, a racist? Are you insane? And he kind of left it at that. And I was like, you know what? Holy shit. I never thought I'd ever see him say something nice about Nancy Pelosi. I'm not fans of either one of them, but hey, cool. I was appreciative of that. And then, boom, a complete 180. Not only did he defend her, but now he's telling them to go back to their countries, which is like the most cringeworthy, like, racist uncle at the Thanksgiving table thing. Like,
I at first thought it was like the parody Trump Twitter account. 'Cause
Dude.
it sounded like it kind of.
I have to take a little wind out of the sails there, like, because, I just thought, I think you put too much behind, like,
Faith in
maybe he was all right, maybe he, was reasoning. He doesn't think about shit when he does this. He just does it.
No,
he
just does
like,
things.
your brain. It's this magnificent organ. He uses just that one little stem that it's attached
Grady.
to. He just uses that little
but doesn't
reptilian holdover. That's all he uses. So
Wait, he's a reptile?
He's a reptile?
yeah, I'm David Icing this.
The lizard person.
But no, like
This is your brain, and this is your brain on Trump
in the past.
Twitter.
Remember, they were trying to do some deal or something, and he was like, "Chuck and Nancy, they came over. It was a great deal." He's been
yeah.
friendly-ish to them before. He just does whatever is self-serving at the time. He doesn't
exactly.
think past next week or
yeah.
tomorrow. So, he doesn't.
Well,
I don't know.
What are they going
I
to do?
just didn't
impeach
think
him?
he'd see fit to come out and defend her. Like, I didn't think he'd waste time on that, but...
Well, he probably saw it
matter
on,
now.
Fox and Friends or something, whatever he had just been watching.
Fox News was telling him it was
Yeah.
that she should be
But
defended.
You're right, though. He is like your stupid uncle who is just every time you go over there, he is watching Fox News or it's on in the background, and that's it. That's it.
Good thing our Trump jar is over, because that would cost a lot of money.
Well, besides, this is an entire, newscast, and we kind of had an exemption for that. But
Yeah, fair enough.
You always know that anything that comes out of Trump's mouth is always going to be exactly what he thinks because he never thinks about filtering himself. So, and
but
that
he
includes his
sticks it
tweets.
to the
That just
libs.
means he
That's what I
doesn't
like
lie,
about it.
It's a wild tweet. Go read it if you haven't.
Oh, it's long too. How many?
It's a roller
how many
coaster.
parts
It's three
It's
different
like
threads.
three,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Twitter's
a
the
ride.
So-called progressive Democrats or something. Yeah, that was.
So, Grady,
Stephen, roller
let's go
coasters
ahead
are
and take
fun.
a little break and give us one of your headlines.
Okay, yeah, I'll pair you up a couple headlines here for you.
Yeah,
So we're
so
gonna
we've
do
done
that.
this game before.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do is Grady's going to give us a couple of headlines. We're going to try to decide which one is the fake one or which one's the real
Yeah,
one.
either way. Identify which one's real, which one's fake.
Which one's fake news and which one's Grady as fake news. Fake news, Grady.
Great brain.
No.
Seeing as all the mainstream media.
Sorry, I got it.
news,
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind
which
of
one's
a
a real
cycle
article,
there.
which one was made up by me. Here we go. First one is The Hidden Racist Origins of Snow Cones.
Okay. I like that.
If it's real, I want to read that article.
But it's
I
also
need to know.
believable, and that's why I hate this game.
The
All right,
next one is all right, so which one of those is real and fake? The next one is The Unbearable Smugness of Walking.
Of walking?
Of walking.
Like W-A-L-K?
With your feet, yep.
Oh, okay.
That certainly sounds like something Grady would believe.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the second one is definitely fake. Because I don't even really understand the thought process to get there.
I think I can understand it. I'm going to go with the snow cone thing being fake.
The snow cone being like, I could see somehow that's real but dumb.
This is what I love about this.
They're both real, but they're both not real. But they're both dumb.
Grady, and that's the thing. You're so good at this, Grady. You're so good at it. I'm gonna say that the snow cone is real.
Okay, we've got Chris
own here.
and Steven for real snow cone. Josh
No, I
and
said
Last
snow
two.
cone's fake. I said snow cone's fake. I think
Okay.
walking
So
is
it's me
real.
and Steven, snow cone is real, Chris, snow cone is fake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
The Hidden Racist Origins of Snow Cones is fake. The Unbearable Smugness of Walking is an article by Michael Lapointe in The Atlantic. The byline underneath that says, glorified for its creative benefits, the pastime has become yet another goal-driven pursuit.
What?
I don't like that guy.
I hope he rides a
should-
scooter around everywhere.
I don't like this.
You
guy.
fucking walking assholes! You
But
ableist
one of
pieces
he-
of shit!
Grady, you should write an article on snow cones, though. So
He's one of those guys who
I would have
like,
to find its hidden.
whenever
racist
those
origins.
hoverboards thingies came out, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is the new, like the new
the world
fucking
on segways.
wave of transportation is
The
these
new
little
hotness.
hoverboard. Yeah, segways.
Finally
yeah,
made it
this
to
is
the
the way
future.
that humans. Yeah, this is Wall-E in real life.
All right, so that's one of those. We'll come back to that later. I'm
Oh,
guessing we're going to do
ridiculous.
one between every story. Is the idea?
Oh, we can do them as a palate
Yeah, we'll
cleanser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll throw them in
All
every
right.
now and then. Okay. Well, Josh, what you got?
I've got a couple of different things. I guess what I'll talk about first is Area 51. And the fact that
God,
we're
yeah.
all going to go to Area 51, right? Have you
They
guys
can't
joined
stop
the
all of
Facebook
us.
group? They can't
Yeah,
stop
they can't
all
kill
of
us
us.
all.
That is
They
the
very much
exact
can.
idea, and I think a sentiment on the Facebook page for storming Area 51.
Oh, I was just
So
citing Karl Marx.
No, I think
that's-
that's
yeah, no,
actually
that's-
on
Yeah,
the
no.
page is like what
They can't stop us all.
I hope that sentence ends with a shrug. They can't stop us all?
I think it's around September 20th. Yeah, September 20th. Hundreds of thousands of people have signed up to storm Area 51 to, quote, see them aliens.
Just to see them.
So it's just this movement that started on Facebook, and last I heard, it was like, I don't know, I've got conflicting numbers. CNN article had 300,000 people signed up. I've heard like over 500,000 people
I've seen
have
300.
signed up, so I'm not really sure.
1,000.
Let's see.
But
I've seen a lot of memes.
the
where
event
it's like,
titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, is inviting users from around the world to join a Naruto run, which, if you don't know what Naruto run is, it's, you know, with your arms behind your back. So that
I always
you're
called it the
faster.
Sonic run because I saw Sonic go way before Naruto did.
They're going to Naruto run into the area to see them aliens. The event page says,
Doesn't the group literally say at some point, if we Naruto run, we'll
we
outrun
can
their
move
bullets?
faster than their
We
bullets?
can move
Yes.
faster than their
Oh
bullets.
no, you're gonna have a white shirt, a ghost shirt disaster or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people will actually show up, but that's a thing that's happening. Of course, there have been Reddit memes and things going around for the past several weeks at least, and that's kind of what clued me off. I hadn't heard about this until I caught some of those memes, so I looked into it a little bit. But
Caught some wild memes
kinda
there, buddy.
do what?
You said you caught
What'd you
some
say?
of those memes. You caught some wild memes.
Yeah, I caught some memes. I was out doing
Meme hunting.
Pokey Meme Go, and not.
This
looking
wasn't
around.
supposed to be expanded upon. I was just making a joke.
But anyway, I mean, there's not.
Read my
I
mind
don't
better.
know too much other than a ton of people are going to try to do it. They talked to one of the the security people, and they're like, "We've got a plan," but they didn't really kind of go into more detail on how they're going to handle the situation. But
I hope they
Yeah.
handle it like this. I hope that if all those people show up, all of a sudden, like, they get ready to storm it, and they come out with, like, a loudspeaker, and they just say, "Meet us at the front," and, like, form a single file line. And they have, like, a fake area that they use to trick them with. They just, look, fine, here's
They, like,
everything.
do tours. There's fake aliens and stuff in there.
Fake aliens,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they should do.
Apparently,
Charge
this whole
admission.
thing started after a group of U.S. senators were briefed about encounters between the U.S. Navy and
Ooh.
an unidentified aircraft. So people were like, you know what, we're going.
Which there's like a
and,
lot
like,
of
I think they just
information
released a
about
bunch
that.
of. Yeah, didn't yeah.
Yeah.
They just released.
They're
a bunch,
declassifying a lot of
on
that.
UFOs. So I guess they're like, all right, they admitted they're real, so now we got to go see them.
Well, the Navy
I've seen a lot of Air
pilots and
Force
stuff
people being like,
keep-
now I can finally talk about this.
Yeah, well, I mean, even to this day, though, active duty, they still keep seeing and the terminology is annoying because they keep seeing unidentified flying objects, which just means they don't know what the fuck they saw, but it was flying,
Right.
In literal terms. They keep seeing that, but a lot of it's strange, and it's been strange since, like, World War II, when they're the Foo Fighters and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, those dudes are totally aliens.
yeah, I mean, just saw them performing.
Dave Grohl, alien.
You're not supposed to be here. You're like a 90s, 2000s band. What are you? But
And
no,
you're in the
like,
sky. What are you doing up here?
Been long running. This is a weird thing from like the
Been long
aughts,
Naruto running.
but Harry Reid from the old Democratic Majority Leader back in the day was a
I
big
thought that was,
time
like,
funder of this. Like he used his power in the Senate to like funnel money to
aliens.
to opening like investigations and shit into this and trying to hold it open, which I thought was a weird connection because he's from Nevada and everything.
That is interesting.
But it's
Like he
weird.
may have toured Area 51 and been like, okay, we need to do some research into this
Or
stuff.
something,
Or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Like,
Well, what gets me is, I mean, don't give away that you're storming Area 51. They're going to move all the aliens.
Okay,
Jeez.
that was going to be my reaction. So I got it pulled up. There are currently 928,000 going, 802,000 interested. The details quote.
I just want to see what
might
happens,
go,
man. I'm not going to go. I just want to see.
depends on what I've got planned.
I might be busy that day.
See what's going on that day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the day
quote.
I'm not getting shot by the government, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
We will all meet up
if
at
you
Area
Naruto run, you
51
won't get
Alien Center. Yeah, we will all meet up at the Area 51 Alien Center tourist attraction and coordinate our entry. If we Naruto run, we can move faster than their bullets. Let's see them aliens.
What if they all get shot and like one raises up his hand? No, not bullets, shurikens. We can only move faster than shurikens. We were so foolish. And then they,
Oh,
then
man.
they die.
It's great.
But it's like the guys who like posted this and like hosted it, like they're dead, right?
No,
Like the
0%.
government, like
okay.
has
So here's the thing.
has hunted them down. And,
If they take
and
one
they're
step
gone.
on that property, they're dead.
Back in the day, in like the 90s or something, they ran some History Channel special where they were like, "There's a guy, Bob Lazar, and he's like,
Oh yeah, that documentary.
And now it's a Netflix documentary. He's been on the Joe Rogan show. He's doing like public runs. And okay, if the government is, this government is capable of carrying out some stuff, it's not just gonna let some guy advertise something that they still have running in the same place that he says it's running, right?
Oh, remember Grady? The new one's under the ocean or something.
Oh, Well, there you go.
Oh,
Oh, you haven't seen that? They're saying that everything was moved out of there because it's gotten so popular, and that it's just a front. And I think they're saying the new one's under the ocean or something.
Well, I don't doubt that they've
That's where
ever
I put
been
it. That or
running-
on the moon.
They've probably been running Defense Department, what is it, the black budget or whatever, the stuff that's not on the books. Sure, they've been testing that shit out there all the time. But if they had anything,
we don't have the funding anymore. Trump cut it. What do we do? Just put this alien corpse in the closet, okay? Just put it somewhere for now.
It would be as easy as that,
stuff that's
honestly,
in
for
every
these
closet.
people. What are they going to do? Go
The
in
stuff
there?
that what's his face, Lazar.
What's
Bob
his name?
Lazar.
Bob
Lazar.
Lazar.
The stuff that he talks about is like
How
fucking, like,
Lazar?
crystals, like this man-made,
You guys know his name is
man-made
Laser, right?
substance that that lets the UFOs fly. and
Dr.
shit
Laser.
Like that. It's
call me
it's
Dr.
crazy. Yeah, go watch that. I actually watched when I heard about this like Area 51 thing. I was kind of like reading stuff about it. And I saw that the Netflix documentary. The documentary is really cool. Go watch it.
I could not
A
get
doc
past the
on
first
Area
little part.
51?
It was like too. I thought the camera, the producer, the main guy, was too like self-absorbed in it. He was like, "Oh, whoa.
That is well, and apparently
What if they find me?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And apparently that producer has been like a producer for Lazar's work for like a long time in his like sort of media presence, and like that's kind of been a criticism like throughout his career is like, dude, shut up. We
Chill
don't care
out
about
about
you. We're here to
yourself.
see. Yeah, we're here
Show us
to,
what you
to
came
hear
to
about
show
the
us.
fucking aliens.
Okay, well, it made me
Yeah.
quit before I watched the rest of it.
Yeah.
So
that's
was he
that's a
doing?
valid
Was
point.
it like Blair Witch Project style?
Somewhat. He had the camera like kind of
Yeah,
like
that's annoying.
flashlight below you sort of style, up in his
Yeah,
It's-
They camped out, and I'm so scared.
Yeah, like finding Bigfoot,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. That's silly.
He injects himself a lot into it. And you're right, Grady. That is very, very off-putting.
But if
Steven,
you're interested in the
believe
subject, you
that's-
probably should check it out in general, right?
I believe it's September. That's somewhere around your birthday, so we should probably go for your birthday.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's the day before my
Sages
birthday.
Issues
Man, I
trip
wasn't
to
going to give
Area
away your
51.
birthday on the cast, but fine.
Hey, should we all get on
Oh,
our
what year was I
Facebooks and
born, guys?
declare
Let's-
that we're interested.
A lot of
1920.
kids
Let's
on
just open
September
Let's just
21st.
open a PO box, and maybe our 46 fans will send us.
If we get enough
That is my
Patreon
sister's
donations
birthday.
to afford a lawyer to get us out of the situation we're in,
Yeah, we're
Hey, I'm a
definitely
lawyer.
getting caught criminal trespassing at the very least.
no, because if you go up to that fence and shit where it says "Don't go past this," then like you're fine. Like you said, they're going to the visitor
Yeah, but we're
entrance.
Naruto running past that. That's the whole point.
Well, that's my favorite part is what are they going to do once they get to the fence?
They're going to climb over it. Someone's got to bring a ladder or something. Come on.
Yeah, you just,
there's
ever
a-
seen a movie? They bring the rug.
There's like
they bring the
a
giant
million
rug to
people.
throw over the barbed wire.
Right.
That's
Have you ever tried the Naruto run with a ladder?
I saw a meme that was saying,
that is tough. Balance it on your back or something.
what they think storming Area 51 is going to be like, and it showed like the famous Bastille Day painting, and then it said what it's actually going to be like, and it showed like somebody like a photo from World War One or a depiction of it, maybe somebody just getting owned coming out of a trench, like that's what it's going to be like.
There's no way that they're
really
going to open
try.
fire on anyone, but it could be
If they
interesting to
storm
see
it, they
if,
absolutely fucking will.
if that many people show up.
Yeah, if they get
Nah,
outnumbered,
man,
I'm
that
sure
would
they'll
be
just.
a media nightmare for
I
them
mean,
to
if
just
900,000
kill a bunch
people
of people.
just if 900,000 people just show up at like Area 51, it's just gonna those people are just gonna be
They can probably just arrest them.
just gonna tell them to
They
leave.
can't
or they're
always
gonna disappear.
successfully arrest just some random black person they pull over, but they can probably successfully arrest 900,000 people.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of people. But it'll be interesting to see if it happens or if and if it happens, how it happens. This could be a precursor to like some kind of revolution,
or not.
Or it's just stupid.
Yeah, they can't stop
It is
all of
stupid.
It's
us.
gonna be
Even,
gonna
but
be
even
like-
if a third of that amount of people show up, like 1 in 5, that's still a ton of people. It's just interesting.
That's a lot. That's true.
sure, and they can stand there and go, "We want to see the aliens," and everyone can be like, "Dude, aliens don't exist. Go home."
I don't know, man. Like with group mentality, if like somebody gets some people worked up and people start seeing people running, I'm just saying.
I'm curious to
Don't
see what happens
underestimate
too.
how
Yeah.
ridiculous crowds can get.
With the leader. If they start doing the horizontalist, like, people's microphone thing, then they're not going anywhere. But if they actually get somebody there who can channel them, maybe. they can do something.
Well, sounds like a job for Grady.
Yes.
All right.
Find out. Yeah, Grady, we're
We
sending you
need
there.
a
All right, I'll be the
revolutionary.
Stage
You're our
Stooges
own
correspondent
senior
/
reporter.
revolutionary.
Yeah.
That's sent there.
Anyway, yeah,
ready
it'll
for
be
it.
We got
interesting to
next.
see what happens.
All right, Chris, what you got?
Oh, okay. Well, I got 2 stories, so I guess we're just going to pick one and go. Should I
Yeah, just do
do
one.
the darker one or the goofy one first?
You do whatever you want, brother.
Do the dark
You
one.
feeling dark or goofy?
I'll do
We
dark
just did
first, so we
a
can
little
palate cleanse later.
goofy.
Oh, crap. I fucking hate the hill. I fucking hate the hill. Okay, there. In case anyone was wondering, I was getting my article.
Which hill?
So,
The Hill, it's a political thing.
yeah.
Was
It's
it-
a
isn't
political
it a
blog.
show or something like an old Anyway,
So I'm just going to read through this real quick.
The hill has eyes.
The Tennessee governor is facing increased scrutiny over a state law that marks a day to honor Forrest, and by Forrest I mean Nathan Bedford Forrest. Lee last week, he's the he's the governor, signed a proclamation for July 13th to be observed as Nathan Bedford Forrest Day. The proclamation was in accordance with previously signed state law. Tennessee State Legislative Librarian Eddie Weeks noted to the Tennessean that Forrest Day has been a holiday in the state since 1921. The same law that enshrines Saturday as
Convenient
Nathan
date.
Bedford Forrest Day also calls for observing January 19th as Robert E. Lee Day and June 3rd as Confederate Decoration Day, according to reports. To meet our legal obligation, Governor Lee signed the same proclamation that has been signed in years past. Later, the governor told Fox 17 last week, to be clear, a new law has not been signed. It's a proclamation in accordance with the existing law that the governor must follow.
Yep.
So, obviously, Stephen Cohen, a Democrat from Tennessee, he made this comment.
Is he the guy with the glasses?
we-
Like the round glasses?
I think so. We should not be honoring Nathan, and this is why. Nathan Bedford Forrest, the first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and the perpetrator of the massacre at Fort Pillow. Governor Lee should be bringing Tennessee into the 21st century and not backsliding to the 19th. So, obviously this is insane this has been going on so long. But the main reason I wanted to bring this up, other than just being stupid, was there was a surprising commenter on this situation by one Senator Ted Cruz.
oh no.
Friend of the
This
show.
is wrong.
Ted
Let me
Cruz.
finish.
Is he?
This is wrong. Nathan Bedford Forrest was a Confederate general and a delegate to the 1868 Democratic Convention. He was also a slave trader and the first Grand Wizard of the KKK. Tennessee should not have an official day tomorrow honoring him. Change this law.
That's,
So
that is like
what
probably the one time I'm going to.
No.
going to
See, here's the
support.
thing.
Warmed
Here's the thing.
over-
This is no. See, here's the thing. This is what I find fascinating as of late. So at first, I'm going to run this scenario by y'all that's been building in my head, and it's a little TV-in. So let me know. But first of all, was Ted Cruz growing that beard during? I don't remember. During the election with Beto.
No, after.
Okay, so it was afterwards.
Yeah, I think it was afterwards.
So I feel like what happened was you have maybe shot Breaking Bad style where he comes home after this election and he wins. What, you won? But he's super depressed and he's drinking a glass of scotch.
So
and
what?
he's
That's not the point.
No, but he's thinking over his life and he slowly starts growing the depression beard, but he keeps it trimmed because he has a job. Because, as y'all may remember, it was only a few months ago when AOC came out and former members of Congress coming back and lobbying. And of all people who joined her in that fight,
And
it was Ted Cruz.
Yeah, he said, he tweeted or something like, I'll join you. Yeah, I'll all that together.
And he's been having these weird little moments where he's reaching over and siding with them on these certain things. And it's just a little surprising that he almost loses this election. And then he grows a beard and slowly starts sounding more and more like a human.
You know what's strange? All right, I want to jump into your narrative here because
They updated his firmware.
that makes sense. All right, Cruz has been the consummate politician. He has been
Yes.
the whole time. He's been telling everybody everything they want to hear. He's always done that. He's never had a spine, right? So he's been.
Oh, yeah. He didn't stand up to Trump when Trump literally insulted every member of his immediate family.
Yeah, he was like your dad shot JFK, and he was like, "Hey, Trump,
Your wife
he's
is
good."
ugly.
Yeah, your wife. Fuck yeah, and okay, so he's been doing that, right? And then he goes up against this skateboarding ass motherfucker who tries to throw him over. Has done nothing but release some awkward short stories about running over somebody with a car or something, and
He stood on a
and
on a table
gentrifying
too.
some neighborhoods in El Paso. And this guy nearly defeats him for the Senate seat. who looks like he bought clothes one size too large at Brooks Brothers. And he's like, okay, I've got to rethink it. Obviously, everybody's on to my inauthenticity, right? Obviously, everybody figures out I am a slimy snake. What does he do?
I'm a robot.
He's recalibrating, maybe. Maybe he's saying,
Yes.
you know what, fuck it, I'm actually going to do what I believe in.
Because
So
he also came out for term limits in Congress, which just directly doesn't. He even said it at a point where after this term he would be done. Like,
So this guy to me has always been like a reheated plate of mashed potatoes that somehow became a human
that's what
being.
his face looks like.
But could you see him if he continues on this path? Perhaps supporting him in doing things in the future? I mean,
Maybe.
He's siding with people in the opposite party doing things that he believes in. He's criticizing somebody for supporting somebody who, committed an act of
deplorable.
genocide in the massacre of Fort Pillow, who's in a southern state which kind of goes against his brand. I mean, he's doing shit that is
Yes.
controversial for...
Since he started, the presidential runs and everything, everyone keeps, coming out, yeah, Ted Cruz is an asshole. Ted Cruz is an asshole. And, then
All of his old
Trump
roommates
things.
from college say he's an asshole. Like he's
Yeah,
been
like,
called that
maybe
his
with-
entire life.
Maybe with all of that coming out and what happened with the election and everything, maybe he's like, well, fuck it, maybe I should stick to my guns on something. I could see it.
I just find the narrative interesting, like just that image of him, and it's like just a slow shot of him sitting at home staring out a window, like,
What have I become?
What have I become?
honey, what's wrong? And like he's starting to get the little stubble going, and he's just, I don't know, and he just slowly starts changing.
No matter what
Like,
I do,
I don't know.
people
It's an
don't
interesting.
like
I think
me.
it's far too late for him to undo his image. Like if we get near the end of this term and or if we get near the election and he stands up and says, you know what, Donald, fuck you. I think at that point I'd come around completely, but it's not going to happen. But
Well, I think we should have Mr. Cruz on the cast so he can defend himself and then
Yeah,
tell
for
us
sure.
about his what's happened and everything. So
He's hereby invited. Anybody who also thinks that Nathan Bedford Forrest is a piece of shit
Is an asshole.
is welcome on this show. Anybody who would gladly piss on his grave is welcome on this show.
And now,
as wizards go, that guy was a terrible wizard.
Seriously.
he didn't even do any magic.
He stacked his third level
didn't do
spells
a
with
single magic
prestidigitation.
thing.
I mean, come on.
yeah, come on, man.
I bet he couldn't even do card tricks.
Yeah.
Fucking
All he did was hang around and be racist and stuff. I mean, that's not what wizards do.
I think he only multi-classed 1 or 2 levels in the wizard.
Noob.
What a
Oh,
chump.
what's that? You need your spell book with you, huh? You can't just conjure up magic from your own being. Dude, you're weak. You're weak.
So, I mean, to be a little bit of a wet blanket here, I think Ted Cruz's
Bad.
image had been so run through the dirt. His, his PR people were probably like, "Hey, you need to be a little more likable." And so,
Yeah, I mean, that
Thus
may
he
have
is-
had something to do with it.
trying to be a little more likable. Who knows if he is a person? I hope
just
so.
think his
I
I just see the imagery of the beard is huge for me. Like all of a sudden he starts changing. He shows up with his beard.
He looks
He's
pretty
like,
good with the beard, to be honest.
He does
Looks
look better with it.
Well, I mean,
I think it definitely helps
takes
his-
away from his doughy face.
To be fair,
Yeah.
this is climbing from the 4th level basement to the
Yes.
1st level basement. In terms of appearance, you had nowhere else to go. I mean, he already looked terrible.
So now we're body shaming Ted Cruz. Come on, guys.
Body
he's
shaming,
just-
face
face
shaming.
shaming.
Yeah.
Face shaming. Ted Cruz.
instead of
Face is part of your body.
instead of looking like one of those blobfish that's been out in the sun for too long, at
Oh,
least now
the-
he looks like a 90s porn star.
The blobfish thing.
Yeah, the blobfish.
The blobfish.
Do y'all want another headlines round?
Go for it, Grady.
All right. Next round of headlines here. First
I don't
headline.
believe it.
Megan
That's fake.
Rapinoe for president.
Okay.
She is the soccer player, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Megan Rapinoe for president.
I get easy.
All right.
Last name's Pino.
Now, is that the real one, or is it this one? Lizzo's surprising stance on breaking up big tech.
Who?
Lizzo.
The
Lizzo.
Lizard Queen?
No, Lizzo. Lizzo. She's
is-
like
I don't know who that is.
Who is that?
she's like a
She's like a.
hip hop R&B artist.
Oh yeah, that girl. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What? I didn't hear the end of that.
Lizzo's surprising stance on breaking up big tech.
Man, you cut out at the end again.
Big tech.
Sorry. Yeah, Lizzo's surprising stance on breaking up big tech.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Or
Lizzo.
Megan Rapinoe for president.
I think that one's real.
I think that one's real, too. I think
Because of all the stuff that has just happened, I could see that was being real.
But your brain could make that up easily.
What's your brain, dude?
Yeah, that could be a trap. I'm going to go with the Lizzo. Got to go with the Lizzo as real.
I don't know who Lizzo is, so this is hard for me.
She's this fairly recently
she's big
come
now.
to prominence
She's
hip-hop gal.
Well, it's a shame. She should go on a diet.
She is also big, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Never mind.
She's fine, just the way she is. Quit body shaming people. Jeez.
Yikes.
Never.
And
As long as there are people writing rascals around Walmart, I will never stop body shaming people.
I'm with Josh. Lizzo is the real one.
Lizzo's real.
I would like to read that.
Lizzo is real. Chris?
Lizzo's real.
Lizzo's real.
Megan Rapinoe for president. An article by Joel Mathis in The Week.
You assholes made me change my opinion. I hate you both.
We didn't make you do anything. It was Megan Rapinoe.
Rapinoe is how you say that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it, I think, both ways, yeah. I've always said Rapinoe.
I've heard
in my head.
Rapinoe. I've heard Rapinoe.
Anyway, the qualifications that she has is that she
U.S.
is
women's national team soccer player.
completely unqualified to serve as president, but so is Trump. She is a celebrity. She has attitude, and blah blah blah. This is an article that is just being dumb, I think. But
see,
it's just saying anyone can be president if Trump's president. It sounds like to me.
Yeah,
or,
and that was
kind of like that.
I hate that argument. I hate when people say that. Well, Trump shouldn't be there, and I'm like, yes, he shouldn't be. That doesn't mean that somebody else who shouldn't be there should also be there.
Yeah,
you don't follow up a mistake with another mistake.
Yeah, I haven't read the article, but I don't know.
Perhaps Rapinoe's biggest advantage over Trump, though, is this: women would probably vote for her. That's their actual argument.
And that's where you got me, because I thought
grab the women vote
for sure that that could have been both. Obviously because of all of the Rapinoe Trump back and forth that's kind of been going on. That makes sense that would be something that someone either write seriously or humorously or sort of tongue in cheek in this case. But also, that's definitely been something you just created. So I was stuck in kind of a time.
Yeah, I felt like it was a trap.
Brain.
But
exactly.
I'm going to give you guys a little inside scoop on that trap. I started out thinking just okay, well, what would be some fucking ridiculous shit? And I was like, Megan Rapinoe for 2024 or something. And I was just like, well, let me make sure this isn't already a thing. And sure enough, it was already a thing. So it became my real one. Yes. I tried to make that one up, so I had to make another one.
There we go.
So you're not out of line thinking that is fake beyond all reason.
That's very
I thought so, too.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Excellent.
Who wrote that article, by the way?
That would be Joel Mathis in The Week. And we can put all these in the show notes. I've got them recorded here.
Yeah, sure.
But
Billy Joel Mathis.
That's funny. All right, so
it's 5 o'clock in the women's locker room.
I don't know why that was so funny to me.
So
because where does that song go from there?
I'm about to get thrown out the door.
Anyway,
I shouldn't be here.
How did I get my piano in this room? I don't. Okay, I'm done.
We talked about this briefly in our Discord, just kind of offhanded, because I'd never heard.
You better not be wearing any briefs.
I'd never heard of this human before until this stunt.
Sorry, Steven. I don't spec into offhand all that much.
Okay, that's fair. So
I only spec into offhand.
That's a mistake, but let's continue.
An Instagram model, person, influencer. She doesn't brand anything. She's her own thing, so she's not.
She's like an influencer / model. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, Instagram model Belle Delphine, aka the gamer girl,
/ cosplay stuff.
Yeah,
the game girl,
gamer girl. Yeah, like I said, I'd never heard of this human until this happened. She, following a hilarious Pornhub troll to the entire world, where she said if this post gets like 1 million, whatever, then I'll make a Pornhub account, in which she just like made like really
suggestive
and explicit titles, but then they're just like literal, you know, like
PewDiePie goes deep inside me, and then she like eats a picture.
Yeah.
Of it or something like that.
strokes
No.
2 huge cocks, and she's just like playing with 2 roosters. Yeah, so stuff like that, like
Stuffed
gets
kittens,
hit with stuffed kittens, a huge load, and like a soda explodes on her face.
And that's great business for Pornhub, because then the person's just like, fuck, okay, big tits. And they just like search something else. And
That's a great point, Grady. I never thought of that.
Really?
it's like, well, I'm already here, and I ain't ending on that. So
I've already
I know who
committed.
yeah.
He's like this guy. I don't remember his first name, but it's like something Creamer, and because of his like full name, it's really suggestive. But he's not like that at all. So he made a Pornhub account of him doing really wholesome things, like fully dressed. Look into him; he's funny.
But anyway, so she trolls like
Wholesome
I help
troll.
my friends change a tire, like stuff like that.
this. She trolls all her followers or whatever, and so then like honestly, not that much longer. She posts on Instagram. I am now selling my bathwater for all of you thirsty gamer boys. Check out my new shop where I'm selling the stuff for you. There's another picture of her, or it's like a video or a GIF or whatever of her. And then so the follow up is what was like, and this is the part that like blows me away. It's like some like troll performance art, like it's ridiculous. She goes, "What was I going to do to top my Pornhub stunt? Well, if you guessed selling my bathwater, you'd be right." And she posts again, "This is what I'm doing."
$30 a jar, by the way.
Yeah,
And she sold out, and I guarantee you, nowhere near all of those are her bathwater. She just sat at the tap all day, or had somebody else do it. That's all it probably was.
But, okay, how is anybody going to sue you? So just make it up.
No, well, I remember people talking about how, like, it's technically waste and it shouldn't be transported. No, fuck off. Who cares? It's just dumb. Like, it's just all stupid.
Well, there were like fake stories of people going to the hospital from it, but no one, none of that.
Oh, yeah, no, the fake story was that it was giving people herpes or something.
well,
Yeah,
so,
that was another one as
so
well.
it's.
But I think the jars even said, like, this is for, like, sentimental purposes only, not for human consumption, I think. I don't remember.
Right. So, they on the store it says, blah blah blah, bathwater. This is not for consumption; it's for sentimental purposes only. Like in big bold, like not for consumption. And then this is where she kind of got driven on. She kind of got thrown under the bus. There was like, oh, blah blah blah, a person got sick from consuming internet personalities bathwater. Blah blah blah, got herpes from consuming internet personalities bath. She was like, yo, I hadn't even shipped this shit yet. Like. I don't know what y'all are talking
Honestly,
about. I
that's-
haven't shipped. It's all still here in a box in my house.
If you're drinking someone else's bathwater, that's your problem. I hadn't said mine.
But
Yeah.
she completely sold out. Which is wild.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
That's not that wild.
And so
People are
she
weird and dumb.
she did another one. So
Just what
There's a
Grady
very
bought some?
interesting Rolling Stone article about the whole thing.
so here's the one where she, after all the drama, she goes LMAO. So there's been a lot of fake news going around that I want to address. Nobody has been hospitalized for my bathwater or gotten sick. All of those memes that were posted before I had even shipped anything out. Regardless of the whole herpes thing, yes, I used to get blisters when there was a change in weather. I've gotten them occasionally since I was a child. I haven't had one in a year or two. No, you cannot get it. Okay, great. Cool.
Okay,
She just
I just
means
want to use
herpes
I just want to
simplex,
use
like
what
cold
Cartman
sores,
kept
right?
saying to Kenny in the South Park episode where Kenny has like fever blisters, where Kenny's just like, "I have a fever blister," and Cartman's like, "Hey, that's just what girls say when they got herpes, dude." Like he just keeps.
Yeah, she's just talking about cold sores, right?
Yeah, cold sores. Yeah, exactly.
No, like he calls it a fever blister, he calls
Yeah.
it a cold sore, he calls it all of those things, and every single time Cartman's like, "That's just what chicks say when they've got fucking herpes. You got fucking herpes, dude."
It is herpes, but
It is technically
herpes.
Well, I
own
mean,
simplex.
Cartman is essentially who she's selling her bathwater to.
it's a different
No,
thing.
that's her
Cartman would
fan.
be the one finding someone to use to do that.
Yeah, sure. I just mean people who.
He would sell butter. He would dress Butters up like a girl and make Butters. sell
Josh,
him
what was
bathwater.
the Rolling Stone article that you
I don't
mentioned?
recall what exactly the title was, but I will look it up.
I
But
think-
yeah, it was
I
very
think-
interesting.
Ultimately,
Was it just like a
I
summary?
don't
Kind
Or
of talked
like a
about
take?
her connection or resemblance to like some adult film stars or adult models and stuff, because like the cosplay thing and everything, that's nothing new. And then like, you know, apparently there have been people that sold bathwater and all kinds of different things, you know. Let's see.
The thing is, I think it's really, really stupid to give her credit and say this is performance art. I think she just knows that her fans are a bunch of morons and she's fleecing them. I think that's all this is. I'm not going to give her...
That's brilliant. That's so brilliant.
But it's not performance art. It's just a brilliant advantage.
That's tongue-in-cheek, Chris.
I don't think it's... Okay. Well, it's not performance art. Like, I would, and I invite Belle Delphine to come talk to us on the show.
She's going to get a lot of fee for that, probably.
Yeah, but, like, you know, you just wonder, like, okay, what is her view of, like, her fans? What is her view of, like, you know, markets where you can sell this shit? Like, she's got to have a very
like
really
some of that is
view
discussed in that article.
Like that's just the Twitch stream thing, man. These girls in scantily clad clothes who just show off and accept donations all day.
Yeah, I mean, she
figured
out
what is
she figured out that she could make money just, you know, doing this kind of shit, like a lot of money off of some really dumb people.
So what do you know? What does someone like that end up thinking about? You know, just human nature almost, or like just people.
It would be very interesting to see. Because she's very young. I think she's only like 19 or something.
She's like 20-something, like 22.
Okay, I thought she was younger than that.
But she just had one more post 4 days ago where she's selling my bathwater one more time. Except this time it's enough to drown in, she says. So if you're
you can drown in anything.
If you're extra thirsty,
she's done some very
further,
weird.
You also get a custom video of me bathing in the tub that I send to you. It's sold out. Also.
Yeah, I mean she's done some very weird trolley type things, like she's eating a raw egg, and I mean, it's all like with sexual undertones, of course, but you know, she's always scantily clad. But I don't know, it's very strange, and
she's always doing the hentai eyes crossed, tongue out face.
Yeah,
like
the ahegao or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
What it's called.
Anyway, yeah, y'all should the Rolling Stone article that I read was called "Is Bella? What's her name?
Belle Delphine.
Belle Delphine, a.k.a. Bathwater Gamer Girl, the greatest troll on the internet.
Yes.
That's the title of it. But, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
It's wild. I just think it's fascinating.
One very interesting thing that the article brought up was that, like, her fandom is, like, a bunch of gamer guy people, you know, that are, like, into trolling. So it kind of... Even though they got trolled on a lot of this stuff, they kind of like respect her for it.
That's my point. That was kind of
it's
like
kind of
my
very
initial
strange.
thing, is that like she knowingly and admittingly is doing this stuff trolly, and yet it's still successful. Like it's.
Yeah, I mean, people like bought her bathwater and vaped with it and stuff. So it's like everyone knows how ridiculous it is.
Belle Delphine, the Twitch troll.
It's so wild, man.
Thing.
It's
who trolls the trolls.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I mean,
the world we live in now. It's crazy.
Good for her, I guess.
Oh, I'm sure she's
Some
got
of those
plenty
things.
of
It's
money.
like I'm not going to blame the person doing it. I'm blaming the idiots who enable it. Like,
yeah. But no, I think that is a good point, Grady. Like, what is her actual real life? Because obviously on Instagram she's going to be like, "Oh,
sure, she's going to have a persona.
I love you." Da da da. But yeah, I wonder what her real life persona is like. Oh my god, these fucking idiots just keep shoveling that money into my bank account.
It just depends on which one you get. Because there are ones who are having fun with it like her. Then you have like the real ones who are like legit trying to take advantage of people. I can't remember her name, but there's one of these so-called Twitch thoughts or whatever, as they get referred to, who's like their top donator has finally come out and been like, look at the shit she sends me where she lies to me and begs for money. Like it's a real issue. At the same time, but like I don't think she's the problem.
Right.
I think it's the other.
You don't just because you follow someone, just because you watch, like we want these conversations. So I'm kind of taking a philosophical view of this. We want these conversations to kind of feel like you're in a conversation with us and you're hanging out with us and you're talking to us. But with a lot of these like YouTube personalities and Instagram personalities, just because you follow them and just because you consume their content, that doesn't actually mean that you have a relationship with that individual.
That's that hard thing. They've been talking about that. They've been talking about how like you listen to hours and hours and hours of content from people over the course of years, and eventually it feels like you get to know who they are. So like
Which
your
might
brain
be true
does a
to a
weird
degree.
thing
You
where it's
get
like,
to
I
know
know
what they're
this
putting on
person.
screen, but that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you have the right to act as though you have a relationship with them. So a lot of
Right,
these
because they
people-
don't know you at all.
Right,
You're
exactly,
just
and
some
that's-
rando to them.
Exactly.
Unless you're constantly communicating, unless you're one of those people who like gets in with them.
But
somehow.
even
Yeah,
then,
if it's like a
seen that
radio
happen.
show and you call in a lot or something. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
then, you're still
Yeah,
only a
that
blip
happens.
on their radar of their life. You know,
Well, it
I
depends
I'm
on the
just saying,
person,
like,
really.
I've seen people who stream a lot, and like they'll be like constant commentators and like commenters, and they'll like recognize them consistently, and they'll have conversations. I've seen stuff like
Sure.
that, but it's few and far between.
right? But that doesn't. Yeah, but sure. And that's
But yeah,
that's your
especially
limit.
with a following that massive.
that is the exception. It's not the rule.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
as high as it goes. Is them being passively aware of your username, and so they respond to you. Oh, hey, what's
Yeah, not
up?
as
Good
a
to see you
person.
again. Thanks for coming in again. They recognize your username. Yeah, they don't know who you are. It's a very interesting
but we
phenomenon
here
that
at the-
happens pretty consistently.
We here at the Sagely Stage Stooges would encourage all of you to get to know all of us in person.
Personally,
For
yeah.
the love of Christ,
All the
review
time.
us. For the
And-
love of
We want you to be our friends.
Look, I will
Actually, just review us and
just
we'll like,
fucking
you
send us a
t-shirt.
review. Just put a review on iTunes. I'll send you a game. God damn it. We're not salty.
We're barely asking anything, really.
Yeah.
We're
He'll
trying
send
to
you a
give
game,
games away.
Josh will blow you. I mean, like, lots of stuff.
Chris
Come
will
on.
send you
Away,
his,
I'll blow you away.
my bathwater.
Yeah, Chris will send
my
you his
bathwater.
bathwater.
I will write a review about how your bathwater is actually contributing to global warming. I don't know.
Grady-
I'll do
Grady-
something stupid and leftist.
Grady will send you his leftover
Why do I have to be the one that does
toilet
the
paper rolls.
I didn't agree to that.
I don't know.
That's how we'll do it.
Yeah. So anyway,
That was a good show, though.
yeah. There we go.
Like and subscribe.
You should.
Belle
reviews.
Delphine.
Do you got one more?
After we just-
You got another fucking thing for us?
Headline?
Fucking-
I do. All right, I'll do this one, and then I guess I'll lead into my
No.
story.
Yeah.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
Uh-uh.
All right,
is
here
all
we
you're
go.
doing.
Here we go.
This
Here
is
we
your
go.
this is your bit, Grady. This is it. This is all we use you for.
This is all.
This
I
is
got.
your lot in life.
All right, fair. And that's fair. That honestly, the viewers might be happier if we do it that way. Point is,
Maybe you should do your news story first and then that. How bad is your news story?
Maybe you should get nude. His news story's gonna be sad. You know it.
how bad can you imagine it?
Yeah, maybe we should do the sad
'Cause it's-
thing and then
'cause
the
it's
happy
worse.
thing.
Okay, then let's do your news story first.
Okay, my news story is something you may have heard about. It's this.
Let me guess. The border.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's this alleged human
racist,
piece of
dude.
shit called Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, Jesus.
He's gross.
Well,
No one likes
all right. He's actually only somewhat alleged because he's also somewhat convicted. He's
Yeah.
actually done time already for shit.
Pseudo alleged.
He is he sucks.
He's a bastard.
Okay, but
Bastard code,
I'm
bastard
really
code,
interested
bastard
in
code.
what's like going on with this story because there's just a lot. He's fucking weird as shit, and so I don't want to make this like a big Grady gives you all the info shit. You know, I've looked in a lot about it, but I kind of want to, because this has been big in the news. Have all of y'all sort of seen some shit
touched
about
on
him?
it.
Yeah, I've heard just the general nightly news about the situation and everything.
So recently, right? Because recently he's
Like this week.
yeah, he was put up on some more charges this week, and and Chris, you had a good take on something right here, right? Where
What? Which one?
Well,
I
but
had
when-
two take-
well, when-
before we started recording,
Yeah,
I
when-
brought up.
Epstein got drawn up on charges on this, and somebody said,
Oh, because I said two things. I said one, what is it with rich assholes and little kids? And the other
yeah.
thing I said was one of the top comments on Reddit was, I hope
here we go.
Epstein sings like a bird. In this instance, I don't even care if a few Democrats go down with him. And I'm like, and it's obviously related to his relationship with Trump. And my thought when I read that was, why did I don't care if some Democrats go down too. You shouldn't even been thinking along party lines. If there are people involved in fucking little kids, I don't give a shit
Yeah,
at
let's
all.
deal with the real issue and leave. We'll worry
the
about
party politics
later.
out of this. If there's a bunch of disgusting people out there, bring them down. You shouldn't even been thinking about it in terms of, Well,
I don't give a
it's
shit
gonna suck
what
that
your
some Democrats might go
political
down, but it's worth
affiliation
it
is
to
either.
get everybody else.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean,
to
at that point,
run-
I don't care about anything in your life other than the fact that that was happening. You know, I don't care
Yes.
your religion, your race.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing. Like,
Yeah, what's
that
the
should be
context of
happening.
this? No. Yeah, no. Jeffrey Epstein, for those of the listeners who don't know about him, he's gross. And the reason he's gross is that he's been repeatedly in the news, repeatedly put up on federal and state charges for sexual crimes involving underage girls.
Oh, boy.
He was convicted in 2008 of soliciting a 14-year-old girl for prostitution. He's
plea deal.
He's gotten plea deals in various situations, and he's up on more charges now. The thing that Chris is referring to when someone said, you know, the partisan issue, one of the things that I wanted to add to that is that Christine Pelosi,
Okay.
Nancy Pelosi's
Christine
daughter,
Pelosi? Is that her daughter?
Nancy Pelosi's daughter, tweeted the following. This Epstein case is horrific, and the young women deserve justice. It is quite likely that some of our faves are implicated, but we must follow the facts and let the chips fall where they may, whether on Republicans or Democrats.
What?
Hashtag we said enough. Hashtag me too.
Me too.
What is
The faves, your faves, some of your
what
faves.
is faves?
Some of your faves, like almost thrice convicted, but never actually, only alleged Bill Clinton. I mean, like, come on, like, what? Who are your faves here? You know, this is ridiculous.
That's where I'm getting hung up. What does that mean?
Ugh. Yeah, and that's another instance. Like, hey, you shouldn't really be thinking about partying about this, but people do, and
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're in that atmosphere. That's how you, like, your daily life is politics, you know? Like, so that's how
you
you
have to be,
view
I
the
guess.
world as along party lines.
this. It didn't used to be.
he's so strange. And who is it? He has ended up with like a plea deal beforehand. This was the thing that got
Acosta fucked out. Yeah.
Yeah, until recently, Labor Secretary. He only resigned today, I think, as of recording.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
July
it was
14th.
Was it today? I
was
thought
on
it was
Alexander
today. It might
Acosta.
be today.
Yeah, Alexander Acosta, Trump's Labor Secretary, resigned due to this. But he was at the time the Attorney General of Florida, I think. United States Attorney General, attorney for the Southern District of Florida.
He was the one
he
involved in the
agreed
first case
to
as far
a-
as the indictment and plea and everything.
Yeah, he agreed to a plea deal, a non-prosecution, something that I heard on the radio was an unprecedented deal. So they had some legal guy on there on NPR or something, and he was saying I have never seen this before, because what they did, they gave him immunity, they gave co-conspirators immunity, and then they also gave potential co-conspirators immunity to the charges that he talked about. So if he, then turns around and says, "Hey, by the way,"
He ended up
this wouldn't
pleading
have
to
happened,
a lesser offense. I think solicitation of prostitution or something was the lesser offense he pled guilty to. I heard
in
he
that case.
spent 30 days in county jail or something, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it too hard. I know that, like you said, that's everyone's, now that he's got caught again, everyone's definitely placing the blame on Secretary Acosta. But
for that,
I haven't-
for
I
that
haven't done
one,
my research really.
No, that's you're basically on the ball. So for that one, right? Acosta let him off with that plea deal and basically let him go. He ended up not even ending up serving time on that one. I want to say he does end up with a he does end up with
He spent time in jail. I don't exactly know what charges he spent time in jail on, but it wasn't very long, I don't think. And I could
He
be wrong
agreed
on
to
that.
no contest on civil claims. He pled guilty to one count of soliciting prostitution for state law. Yep. So he agrees to one count, and this is where they get him for that one count out of all the things that they're going after him for. Here's what he serves. Okay, now, dear listener, I want you to think about what you would do under these dire circumstances.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
He had to serve 18 months in a prison. Now we're not talking the San Quentin or Leavenworth. I mean, a low security prison, a private wing of Palm Beach County Jail.
Rich person prison.
Well, that's the whole thing with
Now
the whole
he's like,
situation.
but
Rich
you still have to deal with the assholes that they put in there to guard you, right? Actually, he didn't. He had to deal with his own security that he hired and guarded him in there.
He hung out with Martha Stewart.
Can we make a sitcom? Or not a sitcom, but like how you have shows like Oz. Can we make like a prison show, but it's like the posh white collar crime area?
Yeah.
And so like the gangs are like opposing tennis teams, like. Break his racket.
You guys are going down. We're going to beat you.
That's the kind of stuff that they
I
have.
watched that.
But he was stuck in there.
And Epstein just kind of hanging out and smoking pot.
He was stuck in there the whole time, though. That's a long time to be in jail, though.
Except
for, he actually had work release 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Where
He didn't even really have to go to jail.
He went to his
He just
Manhattan
spent
office.
he slept there.
Yeah, no, this was his government-paid housing.
How disgusting.
He also got to take...
Look at this kid diddler. Let's give him, the fucking, poshiest deal we can give him.
If you got the money,
What
man.
kind of fucking person?
All right, yeah, adding on to the fucking person thing. Jeffrey Epstein ran a jet infamously that's in the news lately, actually titled the Lolita Express.
Oh, my God.
His private jet that he would fly such luminaries as William Jefferson Clinton, Bill Clinton on, and other folks.
That's not what he called it.
Yes, he's the Lolita Express.
That's awful.
Actual, literally.
Unreal.
He, during his arduous time of serving,
That is the ballsiest fucking thing I've ever seen.
during his sentence of what was
I
it?
fuck little girls, world. Why don't you see? Do not take that out of context.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking.
That's our stinger.
Chris, you might want to rethink that one.
Well, it's too late now.
18 months in low security prison and 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and he gets to take numerous quote unquote business trips on his private jet, the Lolita Express, to Manhattan and to the U.S. aptly named Virgin Islands.
Jesus, let's just give him some little girls while we're at it. Why don't we just give him those? Just cut out that middleman too. Here you go. What the fuck?
Out of those 18 arduous months, he only served 13 of them.
Oh, no.
Right. You don't serve the whole time.
No, all 18 of those terrible, terrible, terrible months.
A year and a month.
Well, I mean, nobody
Of your own
serves their
private
full time,
security
really.
guarding you in your own dumbass office.
But that's I mean, it's obvious there was a lot of someone's influence involved in that. I mean, Acosta must have
Or he
been
might have
to
had
somebody.
dirt on somebody. He might have had dirt on somebody, probably.
Oh, maybe he did. That's one of the weird things about this dude is this. All right, let me give you guys some facts about this guy. All right, he is he's a hedge fund manager.
Of course.
All right, that's his deal. He
manages your hedges.
He runs money for ostensibly for only billionaires. He was a college dropout.
Okay.
He
Great.
somehow got a job shortly thereafter with Bear Stearns, the investment bank.
What? Who's his dad?
Yeah, that's you don't. Yeah,
His dad was worked for New York, the New York City Departments of Parks and Recreation as a groundskeeper and gardener. And dude has no fucking pedigree.
Jesus.
Nope, that's
Ends
not-
up.
Okay.
Wow, so let's
That's
see.
not
His
the
dad
connection.
worked on hedges, and he works on hedge funds.
He ends up working with Bear Stearns, the fabulous investment bank, and he is run out of there in 1991 for quote-unquote bad behavior, according to one of his coworkers.
Shocking.
yeah. One of many bad behaviors in his life.
So he starts his own deal. In 1987, he starts his own investment bank, and he's like,
That's
he
very difficult to do.
He tells the New York papers and everything, all the the shitty articles in Vanity Fair or New York Magazine that's like, here's the latest billionaire and he's so cool. Here's a rich guy and this is what he does. Sure. Like that article. He only takes as his clients billionaires.
But
You have to actually not just billionaires. Actually, you have to give Epstein and his company $1 billion to invest.
wow.
to be a client.
You have to come to the table with $1 billion.
Yeah,
That's
if you
a
show up
power
with $700
move.
million, nope, sorry.
That's a power move.
Okay. Now, here's a little independent research, actually. 1987, the same year he starts his company, Forbes
Insider
lists
87.
its first list of billionaires and the richest people in the world and all that. They list 96 billionaires in the world at that time. 96 billionaire net worth complete, all of it.
Yeah.
1 billion plus, 96 of them. And this is like, they're not cutting it off and saying, well, they have $1 billion, but they also have this. This includes
liquid
like Pablo
Assets.
Escobar,
Assets and- yeah.
for example.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were
He's-
reading that earlier.
Yeah, he's literally on the list. This is from Colombia. You've got Pablo Escobar, and it also lists like, their source of money, and his listed as cocaine. I mean, like it's plain and simple. Those are the only people in the world who had $1 billion to the name, and he's supposedly running a billionaires only hedge fund out of New York in 1987.
It's like the VIP of hedge funds.
Well, but
Yeah,
I mean,
not
if you've
only
got-
do you have to be a billionaire, but you have to park $1 billion of your money with this
but
guy.
if you're an investor and you have $1 billion client, you're probably still doing pretty good.
He did actually have one public billionaire client on his list, which was the founder of Victoria's Secret,
Pablo
Les
Escobar.
Wexner.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, I thought Victoria founded Victoria's Secret.
No, it was actually
she's the
Les
secret.
Wexner.
It's the secret.
He was just keeping her secret for her. I see.
He's the only
that.
actual client.
Some
But it's like,
mansplaining.
the weird thing that I've been reading about is like, nobody in that business, which is apparently kind of cliquey, like heard of him in the investment banking business. They heard of him in the news, but it was like, Jeffrey Epstein, he doesn't, what fucking firm
Yeah,
does
because
he
he doesn't
run?
have track record,
doesn't-
really.
Imagine that you're so fucking rich that you can be like, I've never heard of this dude, but yeah, here's $1 billion.
No, it's like, okay, what they're wondering is like, okay, he's investing billions. He's apparently investing billions in chunks of billions, on this scene. How is he doing so quietly? How has nobody heard of him?
Right.
What
Yeah. I mean,
is-
he's literally throwing around billions of dollars, and he's not making very
nobody's
obvious waves.
And so there's a lot of theories about that. Chris, you mentioned, blackmailing. There's a very right wing or alt right guy, Stefan Molyneux. Have y'all
Oh
heard
yeah,
of him?
I've heard of the name.
He's kind of trolly, and I don't know. He's weird. He's apparently a weird dude on Twitter. But he made this claim the day after the Epstein charges came out, and he said, clearly talking about something completely unrelated to his life, but he's like, what if people involved in this actually, didn't know what they were doing? What if they were, had consensual sex with someone who looked like they were 18, and then someone had videotaped the whole thing?
What
Then
hypothetically?
afterward, and then he's like, then afterward you have to
Hypothetically,
do
what would
their
it be?
complete bidding, very bad people, or something like that. He said something to that effect. And you can look up the
Hypothetically.
Twitter thread,
Hypothetically.
listener. But like, what the
Are you
fuck?
saying it sounds specific to him, or like he's basically saying like this is probably what Epstein did? Like
That's the thing, is like, you don't know if he's saying like,
Referring
please
to
help,
himself.
or if he's saying this is probably what he was doing, and I know it, or
guarantee you
what.
he has
No,
got
it's-
video
it's
on
very
however
vague.
people who did this.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
he has
for-
actually
for
been
the way
accused
that
in
shit's
court of
worked
that.
out.
He has been accused of holding blackmail material on people in court.
If I'm involved, look, if I'm putting myself in the sick head of this individual, 100% I'm doing that to protect myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
It's the easiest way.
Not just to protect yourself of this other Molyneux, or of
And to get favors from people. Like, by the way, remember, I got that.
Yeah,
video.
it's-
yeah, no. Apparently, when they raided his stuff, they found discs, like CDs of like people's names, like Young
uses CDs
blah plus someone's name.
Oh my god.
So
And
yeah,
then date.
this is my blackmail on such and such. This is my blackmail.
It's
like clearly
finding-
labeled.
It's like finding Dexter's fucking like trail of all his fucking little blood slides. just like, and here is all my blackmail.
Yeah, like
Well, he might be a kid diddler, but at least he's a very organized kid diddler.
he is organized.
Well,
and
he can organize.
He's apparently
He can organize what?
apparently he's catering to other people.
know.
I mean, okay, so this is very alleged because this has never been
for-
proved, but Prince Andrew of the UK has been involved with this before.
Andrew! Sorry, guys. Can't keep my hands to myself. You know me.
Yeah, Duke of York.
That's handy Andy.
Third child of Queen Elizabeth II. He's been involved in this. He's been accused and never proven of being involved in this. Friends with Jeffrey Epstein and everything. We know Bill Clinton has been, and his organization and all has made.
Yeah.
Overt.
Trump was at that party at Mar-a-Lago with him, right? Like, there was a bunch of girls that just...
Oh, yeah, the photos
Yeah, and
and
the
everything.
comment on...
But he's on that
likes
flight
them
log
young,
for
or
the
whatever.
Lolita Express repeatedly. And they're trying to claim, like, they took a trip to Africa. Now, listen to this lineup of people. Jeffrey Epstein,
Oh, come on. Those kids are already dealing with enough.
Bill Clinton, and...
That got dark. I'm sorry.
All right. Actually, guys, guess the third person on this trip to Africa on the
Okay,
Lolita
so who are the two?
Express.
Jeffrey
Epstein and Bill
Trump.
Clinton.
Anthony Weiner.
Okay.
That's a good guess. But it's not
Okay,
it.
the third person?
Yeah, the third
Politician?
person. They're not a politician. They're a celebrity.
Okay, give us a clip, like an actor?
Gandhi.
An actor?
Yep, it's an actor.
Okay. Gandhi? Yes, very good, my friend. Like mainstream AAA actor?
Mainstream AAA actor, recently-ish, canceled on a show on Netflix.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin fucking Spacey
Spacey!
on the Lolita Express with Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein on a trip to Africa.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing, allegedly.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a great group of folks that don't, that all keep their hands to themselves
Have had
all the time.
no history of sexual
No
exploitation.
issues with-
Yeah.
Yeah, and also noted non-controversial lawyer Alan Dershowitz, apparently involved in the thing, claims he's only ever at Epstein's place gotten a massage from an old Russian woman, never anything else, and he had his
They
underwear
give the best
on,
massages,
so-
though, for real.
Okay, Robert Kraft.
Yeah, we believe that.
No, that was Vietnamese, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The whole point is this is just like gross, but like
Slimy?
it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
it's
nasty.
disgusting,
Guys, is
but it's
Pizzagate real?
it's wide reaching, and maybe not complete, not common beats. I don't know, but like there's just a bunch of oof.
But yeah, like I said earlier, what is it with rich people and like underage kids?
There's
Like,
power.
Yeah, like
Power. It's power.
but
There's
you-
power
yeah.
that can just hide this shit. And
you
nobody
had
knows
power
where this guy
rights to use
other
actually.
things.
Maybe
man,
it's like
that's not.
part like you have like that urge because you're sick in the head, but two, like, you know what? I can also get away with
Yeah.
it, and you get off on knowing you can
Yeah,
get away
absolutely.
Yeah, who the fuck?
Yeah, well,
is
like
gonna-
just go murder like another adult, and get away with that or something.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, be like Dexter, or you should channel that. So like, you know what? I feel like I want to have sex with a kid, but I know it's wrong. So instead, I'm gonna have sex with people who have sex with kids. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, not a bad idea. No, because
I
this
thought
is,
about what that would translate to.
this is so far-reaching.
Dexter
because
murders other
it's-
murderers. You have sex with other child.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were that many connections and
Yeah, no.
other
What
people
do we
that
say?
Apparently, they're
Yeah,
similar
Alan Dershowitz,
minded,
Stefan Molyneux, Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Alexander Acosta, who recently resigned. He apparently claimed that whenever he first went after him and got that plea deal, that he was told that this guy that Jeffrey Epstein was
absolutely.
that Jeffrey Epstein quote belonged to intelligence and was quote above his pay grade. And then he was told to, quote, leave it alone.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, I could easily see that.
So, I mean, maybe he's part of
with his
QAnon trying
connections.
to unearth something else. I don't know.
Speaking
But-
of which, did y'all buy that QAnon coin I sent y'all?
Yeah, I bought
Y'all
3 of
need
them.
one.
All I've got's 10 pence, man.
But yeah, you've got it
no.
reaching those guys. You've got it reaching, there's an allegation of a girl who alleges that Donald Trump raped her when she was 13 at Epstein's place. it's so, some of our faves are going to get reached in, but some of our unfaves are too. Everyone.
What a
Apparently.
compromise, huh?
It's Jesus. It's wide-reaching and disgusting, and just like, what is wrong?
Well,
with
we
everything?
need. Yeah, I don't know how, but we need to figure out. Yeah,
Well, hopefully
it needs to be found out. Everyone needs to be found out.
Maybe all those rumors about everyone being lizard pedophiles is true.
Well, maybe he's like a fucking psychopath with his records, and he just has a whole.
Yeah, maybe the
bunch of
evidence will
information.
actually out all the actual. Yeah.
So.
I mean, that could be the only good thing that comes out of this. Really.
Yes. All right, Grady, cleanse us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we all
Cleanse us, Grady.
Here we go. I will cleanse you with my last one. Our pair of headlines is How the Automation Crisis is Actually Anti-Imperialist.
Anti-imperialist.
Steven, speak up.
Okay.
Quiet.
I'm thinking to myself.
All right, so How the Automation Crisis is Actually Anti-Imperialist. The second one is Give us sex bots with a soul.
Oh, no.
I think I've read that article.
Automation anti-imperialist.
Was that one of the on the recommended list for you? Did Google's algorithm pick up on that?
Hey, man. Sex bots with a
So,
soul. That's where.
How the Automation Crisis is Actually Imperialist, or
anti-imperialist.
or give us sex
he just
bots
gave
with a
himself
soul.
away.
That first headline is full on like something Grady would make up, though.
It is.
Yeah, I'm going with the first one is fake.
Okay, so
Because I think, I haven't read that article, no. But I think there's been a lot of talk about sex bots lately.
Josh, I think
also-
I've agreed with you on every single one of these, and I think we've been wrong every single time, but I think this one's the one that we get it. I'm going to go with you. Sex bots is the
All
real
right.
one.
Sex bots is real.
Well, the one time I've agreed with them, I've been wrong. So I don't know.
You're batting 50, so.
So we all say the sex bot one is real?
We do.
Yeah.
I can see it being real. I'll go with sex bot.
All
Sex
right.
bot is real?
Sex bot is real.
Yeah. Grady said it. He said it was real.
Hail the conquering hero. Give us sex bots with a soul by Libby Emmons in The Spectator. That is the real article.
Yeah!
You've done it.
I told y'all.
I'm 2 for 3.
Stick with me and you'll never sex bot with no soul again. Isn't that
So
how it is in The Lion King?
does Libby give us any sort of method as to imbuing souls into our sex bots?
Yeah, it needs to have that knowing look.
I'll give you a little taste.
Well, okay.
I'll feed you baby bears.
Here we go, starting with
Little
Libby's
sweaty,
article
salty taste.
at the beginning. Everyone wants to fuck a robot.
I don't really feel the need to, but okay.
What a start.
Our
a
mechanical
great start.
lovers have been all over our pop culture for years, as if our longing has conjured the tech. Battlestar Galactica, Blade Runner, and Star Trek when Data and Tasha Yar had a thing. The sex bot is happening, and, at least in
Yes,
our
but
quiet,
Tasha Yar is
private
literally the worst.
moments, we're pretty much all aboard.
Wow.
So she claims that initially that everyone wants to fuck a robot. Her byline, by the way, was therapeutic sex robots can cure loneliness, not worsen it.
Oh, no.
Are you feeling bad? Here's a therapeutic
enable
sex
people
robot.
to never socialize. That's what it's going to do.
So her idea is, sex bots, as she says, can play a role in curing your need to connect with people.
Oh, man, the incels are going to be thrilled.
The last paragraph here,
yeah, but it's
just
going to take a while to get a soul,
cap it off here, sex bots will not be the end of civilization if their development is towards bots whose minds are controlled by folks who want sex but don't have the bodies for it, or want to date but can't get out of the house, or if the AI is configured to be like real
this isn't
humans.
a robot. This is a remote controlled
fantasy.
thing. Then
Virtual reality components. Human relationships aren't easy, but the best things in life never are. Projecting your emotional life onto a robot, a machine that cannot hold or reciprocate it, will not ease the void of loneliness. but increase.
God, if we think our birth rates are low now, just you fucking.
Well, we need our birth rates to be low for a while, but that's some fucking Black Mirror shit though. It's like, oh, you can't have sex.
Yeah, that
so
is
we'll
totally
put your
Black Mirror.
consciousness into this robot so that you can go have sex. Enjoy.
And then this other dude that can have sex, but no one wants to have sex with him. Yeah, have fun with that, because he's probably great.
But don't worry, because
You know what I mean?
we're filtering the perception that you're actually receiving that he's really hot, even though he's 700 pounds. And
Yeah, we're
4 feet
altering
tall.
your perception of him.
But you're
Okay, well,
seeing
let's
the
not
world
spend too much
through
time on an article that's not really one of our lists.
robot.
It's just
Fair enough. And there
Let's
you go.
spend
There are
all
the
the rest of
headlines
the
for
session
today.
on that.
Who's next?
Well, unless does anyone have one of their articles that they just absolutely 100% have to talk about?
Yes.
I think I've got one that would be very entertaining.
All right.
It's short.
I mean, I could knock several out within a few minutes.
All right, let's go. Chris.
Okay, guys. So I want to take you to Guthrie, Oklahoma,
Okay.
and you have this man named Jennings. He was pulled over about 11 a.m. after an officer noticed that his car tags were expired.
Oh, God.
He alerted the officers that there were a few other issues likely to arise, such as there was a gun in the car. His passenger, Rachel Riviera, was charged with possession of a firearm after a former felony conviction, stuff like that.
Oops.
So basically, they go through the car, and they find whiskey, the gun that I mentioned, a rattlesnake, and a full terrarium. So at this point, we're already confused. Does
Taking my
anyone want to
rattlesnake
take
for
a
a
crack at? Does anyone want to take a crack at, except for Josh, as I think he came across
Yeah,
this?
I've
what
read
the
this one.
final thing they found in his car was?
A case, say you're driving in a car, a case full of CDs, but all of them are listed with prominent politician name and then young so-and-so and the date.
And then 17-year-old blah. Yeah.
The man's name
No.
was Jeffrey Epstein.
Good guess, but no. Steven, do you have a guess?
Smuggled orangutan.
If only. So no.
You can't transport your orangutan and your rattlesnake at the same time.
I'm just
Steve.
going to
That's
read this
dangerous.
straight off. Just to recap. And their discoveries, 1 bottle of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey and 1 rattlesnake. So now he's got a rattlesnake, a stolen vehicle, firearm, and somebody under arrest.
Some
Guthrie
open
Police.
container?
Sergeant Anthony Gibbs told CNN affiliate KFOR. Then they found one more thing. A canister of radioactive powdered uranium.
What?
He's trying to turn his snake into like a superhero.
That's what I was going to say.
Is he on fucking
No,
Stranger
no.
Things? This is ridiculous.
He's not trying to turn his snake into a superhero. He's trying to turn himself into a superhero.
Self into a snake.
Radioactive snake man. Snake man.
When that happens, of course, we call in a company that deals with that specifically, and it's taken safely into possession, Gibbs said. The uranium is the wild card in that situation.
No.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
the
so.
wild card there.
So now, currently, Jennings is charged with possession of a stolen vehicle, transporting an open container of liquor, operating a motor vehicle with suspended license, and failure to carry a security verification form.
I love that the uranium didn't even make the list.
They don't know what to do with it.
You know,
Possession
I'll
of
tell
a
you what.
controlled substance and penalty group 2.
Yeah, they're like, just don't. I mean, don't do that. But it's not a crime. I don't know.
I tell you what. When we pulled him over, we really, sure, hey, stolen car, all right, seen that. Open containers, that's fine. Hit a rattlesnake
Even
in the
a
back
rattlesnake.
seat. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a little weird, but fuck it, I've seen that before. But god damn it, when I saw that thing of uranium, that's what really tipped me off, that we had something fishy going on.
What was he doing with it?
Where did he get it?
That's
Yeah. In Guthrie, Oklahoma, where did he get powdered uranium?
Hey,
You can't just go to
everybody's
the drugstore.
and this ties it all together.
We have
Earlier,
a drunk guy and a woman with a gun and a rattlesnake driving around with powdered uranium.
well, see, we've been talking about storming Area 51, but Area 51's only open now as a distraction to keep you from thinking about Area 52
Guthrie,
near
Oklahoma.
Guthrie, Oklahoma, where this guy got his fucking uranium from.
It's like a fucking episode of Supernatural or something.
It's,
Yeah,
I don't
We
know.
need
that's
venom
what it
from
was.
a rattlesnake, an irradiated hooker
Man, there had
blood.
to be some methamphetamine involved in that, right?
The government
is a
police
meth
department
story.
has not filed charges
Oh,
related to
cocaine.
the uranium. Officers are still looking into a potential motive. The rattlesnake brought no additional charges. That's all.
It's okay.
The
have
rattlesnake
that.
was like,
That's
that
okay."
motherfucker kidnapped me.
The snake is just trying to
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"Do you know what he was going to do with me? It's obvious.
Come on, man.
Help the
Jesus.
brother out."
Yep.
The snake
Good old
was
Guthrie,
given.
Oklahoma.
The snake was given no
wild.
charges.
Is Guthrie, Oklahoma named after Woody Guthrie?
Probably.
I don't know.
It's named after Guthrie, Oklahoma. They named it after itself. I don't know why. Okay, well, if we want to cap it off with some quick animal news, I've got a few stories here.
Obviously.
Gotta have some animal news if we're doing a newscast.
I just realized you never did a news intro. You didn't.
Yeah,
do your,
well,
your
I
jingle.
didn't realize that before we even started, and then I didn't
I can
do
fill
it,
in if you
so.
want.
No, God,
I got
no.
that one that y'all tried to pressure me to do.
No.
No,
Well-
you have to do the news outro now, Grady. So
Yeah,
change
we'll,
everything.
we'll put Josh's news intro in post. Jesus, Grady.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right,
Deal.
so Chris sent me this article earlier, so we'll touch on it really quick. In Ole Township, Pennsylvania, all of the parrots are disappearing.
Aw, this is sad.
It is kind of sad. So we'll lead up to the little less sad ones. But yeah, apparently a bunch of people have been stealing
I mean,
parrots.
apparently.
Apparently.
Oh, no.
You're so funny.
All right, that's it, boys and girls. We're out. We've been the
That's
same.
That's
No,
the last
man.
we ever heard of Chris.
So this lady had her parrot. She was holding a parrot for a customer, I guess. She said she was watching it for a customer, and it was stolen from her pet store in the middle of the night. I guess sometime between 9:30 and 5 a.m. So
Whatever.
we don't really know.
11:30. The middle of
Oh, is it
Anyway,
11:30? I may be looking at the.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I was bullshitting.
It was at 11:30. Grady stole it. But this isn't the first parrot that's gone missing up there.
Allegedly.
I think
in
it was the first
Pennsylvania.
parrot, but since then.
Oh, well, maybe that was the first one. And sometime this week, between 9:30 and 5 a.m. on Wednesday, 2 parrots were taken from the Ole Turnpike. I guess it's Ole, O-L-E-Y, Turnpike Petting Zoo. So
on, man.
people keep stealing parrots, in Pennsylvania. I guess they're
Is
selling
uranium
them
also
to
going
someone?
missing? Is someone trying to become?
I don't know,
parrot?
man. We should
You
look
know
into
what?
that.
Area 51's actually just there to keep you from Area 52 and Area 53.
Which is outside of Ole
Pennsylvania.
Township in Pennsylvania.
Which
These
is
are
where
just
they
some-
keep all the parrots.
These are just some freaking yinzers. Just
I just after
Stealing
reading that
parrots.
article, I was just thinking, like, okay, I am
for
a
the
criminal who traffics stolen parrots. Like, who is buying these stolen parrots? I guess you resell them at your animal shop. Like, what do you do with them once you've stolen them?
Josh,
I tell
I,
you what, it's gonna go down.
have no idea. Zero idea. Like, no, absolutely
It's like a Bob-
no idea.
You're the
It's like
last
a Bob's
person.
Burger situation where there's like rival pet shops that keep stealing prize parrots from each other.
I
I don't know what
think-
you're
I
talking
think they're
about,
taking-
Bob. We bought this parrot legally yesterday.
I think they're taking the parrots down to Colombia or wherever and teaching them how to alert drug dealers.
Guys, what if it's
story.
what if it's other no? What if it's other parrots? What if they're slowly one by one freeing their brethren?
Hell is other
That's
parrots,
probably
as
what
they
it
say.
is.
Well, but how are this?
Dude, I solved it.
But
Solved.
But the
Solved.
the but
Solved.
He solved it,
The, but
Steven.
the
Steven, it's
He
solved.
did solve it.
but the okay.
There you go. All right, I got a couple more of these we can knock out real quick. This one's just kind of interesting to me.
Go down to the pet store, steal some parrots. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So apparently, an Arctic fox walked more than 2,737 miles on a journey
What a
from
trooper.
Norway to Canada.
Where the fuck was he going?
Wait. Excuse me. On a journey from Norway to Canada.
Correct.
over the ice bridges and things, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so, like, an Arctic fox, apparently, wherever it's born and raised, once it's of age, it leaves to breed in a different place. Like, that's
He's like,
natural.
Fuck y'all, I'm out.
Apparently on the other side of the globe.
Well,
this
I don't want to
female,
fuck my cousin, so
This female fox was less than a year old and traveled more than 2,700 miles.
Dude, that is
to find
one
a new
horny
place to
female
breed.
fox to go that far looking for some fox dick.
Damn.
Holy shit.
I know, it's just amazing to me because over several months it just kept going. I don't know what it was eating out there on the ice or what, but shit.
Well, I would
man.
imagine, Josh.
Fish and birds.
I imagine it was finding a food source.
You can go to Greenland, and then or Iceland and then Greenland.
Yeah, that's where it went. It went from Iceland to Greenland to Canada. Walking over the ocean.
There's shit out there.
Anyway, I thought that was fascinating.
That's
lichen
wild.
and moss.
Like, what? She just decided to keep walking. Then she was like, "Oh fuck! I guess I'm in the middle of the ocean. Guess I'm just gonna keep walking until I find other foxes."
Well, this is no place to raise kids. Just keep going.
The Arctic Circle.
A beautiful view, but what about the school district?
Yeah, exactly. The school district's terrible. But yeah, they apparently she walked 46.3 kilometers a day, about 28 miles. A day until she was there, and they were able to track her through. Apparently, she was tagged, so they used the GPS tracker to keep an eye on her. No, Stephen, it wasn't just like, "Hey, look at this Arctic fox. It's from Norway." It just
I just assumed. So when I read that headline, I just assumed it was like, "Oh, this is a type of fox that only shows up in Norway. What the fuck is it doing in Canada?"
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, so that's that one. Pretty crazy.
Horny little fox.
Horny little fox and does not like Norwegian.
That's the new
foxes.
Disney
Gotta
movie.
Get some of that
the
Canada
horniest fox. And it's
There's
just,
a story
they're just
of
reusing the
the
models from
horniest
Robin
fox.
Hood.
In Palm Harbor, Florida, a 75-year-old
Thank you,
man
Stephen.
kicked
Thank
an
you.
alligator to save his dog.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's kind of badass.
for him.
75-year-old man kicking alligators. He's like, "Hey,
Dude,
my
bravo. Fuck alligators.
Does it say how big the alligator was?
8 foot.
Damn!
So pretty.
Holy
solid
fuck.
It wasn't. Yeah. I guess that is an important aspect. That
It wasn't just like one of those like
See
little
it.
baby 4-foot alligator. No, this is a
No.
fucking monster. It's a dinosaur he
kicked
just
the al-
kicked.
He kicked the alligator, and the alligator's like, "Fuck that!
Fuck
Take
you.
your dog."
Yeah, I
Fuck
mean, I
this.
can see it. If that gator's focused on the dog and all of a sudden he comes in there and kicks it in the belly
Like-
where it's softer.
No, it kicks it in the
I can
snout,
see it.
man.
Dude.
On the I
Kicked it
would
right in the
not put
nose.
my foot anywhere near a fucking gator's
8-foot
mouth. You
alligator's
fucking
mouth.
kidding me? No!
Dude, if your
Even
golden
if
retriever
Kaylee's
was
getting
hitting me,
mauled
come on.
by it.
Dude, you hit sharks in the nose. I don't think you hit alligators in the nose.
Well,
Kaylee's getting mauled.
this
mauled by that,
75-year-old
though.
man hits
Fucking
alligators
works.
in
Just
the
like
nose
water.
to save
You hit
his
him in the nose?
dog.
Oh, God. What a beast of a 75-year-old man.
I know, that-
going for the fucking mouth.
I want to have a beer with that dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Florida man kicks dinosaur.
Apparently, neither animal
Florida man
was
kicks
injured.
alligator to death. That's what I want to read.
The article, these are AP articles.
The only thing that could make this... Sorry to cut you off,
last
but the
year.
only thing that could make this better is if that gator, like, had an interaction with this old man, like, 10 years prior and took the man's hand. No! You're not
like,
taking my
"You're
dog,
not
too!
getting my dog, too!
It's like,
Revenge!
Yeah,
been
apparently
my whole life.
neither animal was injured, so I don't know how that works.
Well,
One of them got
one,
kicked
I
in
can
the
tell you
face.
why that works. One, it got pissed off and said this isn't worth it and left, so the dog was unharmed. And two, it's a fucking alligator, so kicking it probably didn't do much.
he was
other than
just like,
make
ah,
it-
Yeah,
fuck
but
it, this isn't worth it.
If the gator has a hold of your dog, how is your dog not injured? Yeah, anyway.
Did it say it had a hold of him?
Yeah, it said he kicked the gator until it let go of the golden retriever.
Oh, maybe he just got him in a
Little
non-lethal
scratches.
area and it just had some puncture
Has some
wounds.
He,
Scratches.
he just had him in like an ankle lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Man. Golden retrievers,
anyway.
yeah.
I got one more of these. I saved
The gator
best
stood up
for
on two
last.
legs and put the dog in a headlock to choke it out, and he was like, "No, sir." And he started kicking it.
Don't you? I don't even know how you're doing that with your stubby
With
legs. But.
stubby alligator
Little
arms.
Fucking T-Rex arms.
All right, so last but not least, by any means, in Athens, Alabama, a man has been accused of feeding methamphetamine
Known
to what
for
he
its
called, or what
cultural-
authorities called, an attack squirrel.
Yeah, I heard about this. Wait, what?
An Alabama man has been accused of feeding methamphetamine to what authorities called an attack squirrel.
He's been feeding this fucking squirrel meth.
So,
So basically, they just created that Foamy the Squirrel thing from like Newgrounds in the early 2000s.
Yeah, from in like
This is from
Adventure Time,
a-
the one who's trying to kill Jake.
Has the squirrel ever actually defended him?
No, the thing
It's-
trying to kill Jake was a cat.
No. Anyway,
it's from a USA Today article. I believe the squirrel was just acting like aggressively when they were trying to subdue it.
because it was on meth.
And he, of course, was.
Wait a minute.
was-
This squirrel's on meth.
a meth user, I guess. But what the greatest thing about the story is that the squirrel's name is D's Nuts.
Oh man!
Yeah,
Was it a boy
he told
squirrel?
authorities
Did he
he's
have,
had
those
it since a
giant
baby and
fucking
would never
weird
give it drugs.
boy squirrel nuts. You've seen those pictures of like those squirrels
Yes.
with those like giant fucking nuts? No.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I have.
Nope.
All right.
Well, this one
Chris gets it.
wasn't one of those, I guess.
I get it.
I don't know. Like you see, like male squirrels, they have like gigantic fucking balls.
I always find it hilarious when you don't think about that because you watch so many cartoons over your life, but then you see like a male mammal, like it's a small one,
And you're
you
like,
go, oh yeah, that's what rat
All right.
testicles look like. They drag them across the
That
ground.
motherfucker's got some big ass ball.
Well, that would be appropriate.
But there's
for
a reason
squirrel
that-
named D's Nuts.
Yeah, I'm
but
telling you.
There's a reason that all those
the picture
statues
does
of
not reveal any
tanukis.
large testicles.
There's a reason that all those Japanese statues of tanukis have giant testicles that they sit on. There's a reason.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We talked a lot
Well,
about balls.
Yeah,
Not enough,
you guys
I'd say.
definitely talked a lot about nuts.
How did we know that this squirrel?
How did we
Squirrel
know
was on
what?
meth?
Did they
How do we know the squirrel
Did
was
they
on
urine
meth?
test this squirrel?
It didn't tell me. He's just the authorities have accused of being on. I believe they said it because of the aggressive way it was acting when they subdued him. That's what they assumed it was on.
What?
It didn't.
Well, if I want to make a, if
said
I
I'm
want to
on
make a small
chili
mammal
pea.
dependent on me, I think giving it meth is probably one of the best ways.
Squirrels are generally so
He-
calm.
He
No, they're not.
he did say that he's had the squirrel since it was a baby and he'd never give it drugs. But of course, that's what you'd say if you give your squirrel drugs.
Sure, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, I've neither. I don't know.
I would also say that if I had had a squirrel since it was a baby and I'd never given it drugs.
He said, "quote The squirrel is not on meth. I honestly think that would actually kill it." That's what he said.
I can see that.
I've done a lot of meth, and I really think that if I had given my squirrel meth, he would have died. Because I've
You sit
thought
down
I'm
with a
always
squirrel,
going to
and you
die.
can see like the indentation of its heart going boom, 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 boom,
Through its chest.
Yeah.
All right, so this, let's see what article this is. Washington Post article says, narcotics officers from the Limestone County Sheriff's Office were tipped off about the squirrel during a drug investigation, and they showed up with a search warrant on Monday. They seized an unspecified quantity of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, ammunition, and
3
body
million
armor
pounds.
from the apartment, and confiscated the squirrel.
Did the squirrel have body armor?
In fact, the Daily reported it was impossible to confirm the animal's alleged meth use. Officers didn't find any drugs in the cage, and there's no way to safely test the squirrel for meth.
There we go.
Safe.
But he did get charges because it's illegal to have a pet squirrel in Alabama.
Who would have thought?
Anyway.
Jeez, is that the only charge he's going up on? Or
Oh no, he's since rammed a police vehicle and stole a motorcycle and some stuff. So
Meth, man. Meth is
meth will
Meth.
get you every time.
Not even once.
hell
see,
of a
meth
drug.
lets you know that you're actually playing GTA, and you should just fucking run into the cop cars. And
So, I'll tell one more little just random personal anecdote before we sign off.
Did you also give a squirrel meth?
If you give a squirrel a meth, he'll want a lot of meth.
So Haley works as a sort of caseworker, social worker, for low income people in
Low income squirrels.
in one of the surrounding counties of Brazos and College Station, where meth is very prominent. It's kind of like one of the
Meth is
big-
prominent everywhere, man.
the big landing spots of meth in Central Texas. Anyway, there was a big bust, I guess, and so meth has been kind of dry as comparatively to usual in the last.
Having a problem finding something, Steven?
No,
Something you're trying to tell us?
but
Just
her
cook your own,
clients have, 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, they-
So what people have been doing, according to law enforcement in Burleson County, is they will. So this is a ride, man. Just follow along. They'll take their screen doors off. Okay, like their screens in their windows, or the screens in their doors, just any sort of that like screen for your window. Take those off, like kind of set it up in a way that it's aerated and you can get to it easily. Take like Raid, or some sort of
Like
wasp
bug spray.
Like
The insect,
some sort of
poison?
wasp
killer?
spray, specifically like wasp or roach spray. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it just does flies or something, that shit's not gonna work.
No. It's got to be one of those really strong ones that like knocks them out on sight. You know, like as soon as you hit them, they die. Yeah.
Because one will fly at you, and one will fly at you and murder you.
Right.
So-
Exactly. So they'll take that. They'll coat those screens in this stuff, like just get it nice and like dripping wet.
Yeah,
So
delicious.
that when that stuff dries, it crystallizes.
It kills roaches.
Oh no!
And once it crystallizes, you can scrape those crystals right off into your meth pipe, burn that shit up, and you got yourself a good chemical methy high from literal poison.
Like, never thought I'd say the poor man's meth, but Jesus, that's the poor man's meth.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Sagely Stage Stooges startup. Yes, you are correct. If you read the description, we have made meth even trashier. Yes, applause. Yes, applause.
Trashy death.
We are going public.
Don't do
next
this at
week.
home, everyone.
God, don't. Jesus. It's like people still smoke K2, and like I don't.
Yeah, and it kills folks.
I thought we as a culture, like just we as humans, had decided, you know what? We're going to limit ourselves to, slower poisons like alcohol, meth, and tobacco, not fucking K2. But, well, thank you everybody for joining us on this little random ride
This
of
was
news
a ride,
and
baby.
stuff. This was, if you couldn't tell, we really wanted to record a podcast, but we really didn't have the time to plan something really intricate, so we just decided to talk about random shit for 2 hours. Podcast. Then
We did not have
That's
time
a
to
really
talk
long
about
title
E3.
that we probably won't use.
No, that's our title. Definitely.
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I was hoping we could have talked about E3, but it's just too far out at this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Plus,
Because that's where we got our
kinda
start.
was lame,
We're over a year old now.
and it doesn't.
Yeah, we've gone past the year.
E3 was boring.
You've been
Anyway.
with us for however long you've been with us.
Yeah.
E3 was kind of boring, but I really wanted to talk about EA and Bethesda like real bad, but whatever.
Honestly, it'll probably be more interesting to talk about some of that stuff when it's actually closer, because
When it's really
E3 kind of blew. So yeah,
There you go.
that's it. We're done. We're out of here.
We are
See ya.
done.
Bye.
We're
Get out
done.
here.
Bye.
Get it.
Bye.
For Chris and for Grady and for Josh, we have been Sagely Stage Stooges. You've been awesome.
Grady, sing us out.
That was the news. What the Sagely Stage Stooges.
Don't do
gave us
meth.
News. Goodbye. Chris, drop a breadcrumb. Drop it.
Go to greatawakeningcoin.com.
Dude, we're gonna have to freaking vacuum that up. Quit dropping breadcrumbs.
I'm a little messy, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, just, All hail the Lizard King. Bye.